Hey everyone, it's Bailey here. So for those of you that don't know, I broke my hand on March 25th and I'm still going through intensive therapy for it, like wax therapy and laser therapy and ultrasound therapy, and then my actual therapist works on it. And this week they're trying new things to hopefully make me not have to have surgery because my tendons have grown over this bone here. Sorry, you can't really see, but this bone here in my hand, my tendons have grown over. So like this is as far as I can bend it. And you can see my knuckles don't look very good when I do that. So my hand, needless to say, this is my point, has been bugging me a ton this week. So instead of doing my traditional blog post, I'm just gonna do a little video and touch base. So this last week we talked about digital citizenship. And for those of you that don't know, so that's like, it's kind of everything to do with online in a way. So typically we always are just talk about safety and security. That's it. Like, don't do this because, and don't do this because. But we all know with kids, and especially teenagers, when you tell them not to do something, I know for me, when my parents told me not to do something, it was totally not, like, I did not follow their rules. So I guess it's just a matter of taking into consideration everything that happens online. So there was a few articles that we were supposed to read this week, and I actually found one of them super interesting. So I guess digital citizenship on that point is more than just saying you're okay to do this but not to do this. So it includes like digital access, where we have internet access. Is that in the classroom, is it okay to give them just homework online, or is every student going to have that ability to be able to do their homework online? Connection and communication. So how are we teaching kids to communicate online? Are we saying like, no, don't talk to anybody because that's unrealistic, or are we teaching them proper ways in order to do it? And then for literacy, what can we access online? Adequate. So is it okay for students to be on their phone when they are having supper or when they're in the middle of class? Like, knowing when and when to not without saying no, you can't, is definitely something to keep in mind. Our law, so what happens and how it happens, and then what we can do about it. So if somebody steals your identity online, what are the repercussions, or what are the, I guess, circumstances that are going to come about? Same with, we had talked last week about somebody who was in the running for the Saskatchewander, I think it's called. Basically, they had a video of them singing swear words in the video, and then they ended up getting disqualified. So knowing what can happen online and where, like, what happens if we do something like that. And then a couple others, like rights and responsibility, health and wellness, so like internet addiction, ADHD, things like that are increasing. And then digital security, so that is like the, when do you give out your information? When do you not? When do you, like, what happens there? So the one article that I found really interesting was the IRL fetish by, I can't even read my writing, something Jurgensen. And so basically what he said was, the IRL is the in real life fetish. And so he had said, like, everybody that's not on the internet, or that is, but is trying to make themselves feel good, I guess, keep saying like, oh, look at me, I didn't do this, I didn't go online during supper, so I didn't go online during some other important event, I was living instead of being on my phone. But the reality is, in his words, and I think what is true in reality, is it is those moments that you're not on your phone that define the person that you are online. So although you can try to separate that, I don't think with so many people having access to technology anymore that you can really separate your in real life versus online life. And so I think that that's really important to keep in mind, is that yeah, it is like something that people fathom about as being not online nowadays, but we really need to think that just because you might not be online doesn't mean that the things that you do won't be online. And in all reality, it would be nice to be 40 years ago and the stupid things that you did didn't end up online, but that's not true. So I think as for our future classroom, what we need to know as for like a future educator, what I need to be aware of in my classroom is how that affects my students and where they can go or what they can do about digital citizenship in their everyday lives, because the reality is you can't just tell them to not be online. That's not true. If you set up blockades on internet and things online in your school, they're going to find a way around it. They're going to be online, but the I think important part is having real conversations about what is and what's not okay online, and more than just safety and security, but really just like digging into why things are the way they are, instead of just saying, no, you can't do that, or no, this doesn't work. Like telling them, why can't you post your information online? Why can't you share stupid pictures of your friends online? Things like that. So yeah, I guess that's all for me to say, but I really think that is important to teach kids that we're not going to tell them no, you can't do it, because that's unrealistic, but teaching them the proper ways to do it, because they're going to be on it anyways, I think is important.